fellow carbon-based bipeds. I am Scott Rose, and you are watching Explosions and Stuff. Today, I'll be reviewing the 2015 film Last Night, starring Clive Owen, Cliff Curtis, Axel Henny, and Morgan Freeman. But first, a word from our sponsors. An overview of the movie. After refusing to pay a bribe to an aide of the Emperor, not only is the master of the Bartok clan executed, but the commander of his own knights is forced to do it. After the Bartok clan is disbanded by the Emperor, all the knights go their separate ways and try to make new lives for themselves. Unfortunately for the Emperor's aide, some of them are not able to do so. The pros of this movie? Well, first of all, this movie had a very interesting and fascinating concept behind it. Basically, the background of this whole thing is a group of knights got together. They didn't see race, they didn't see religion. All cultures formed together in this knighthood, just in the pursuit of honor and dignity and devoting yourself wholeheartedly to the master of your clan and serving that master of your clan. And it's fascinating. So you have these cultures where they don't see race, they don't see religion. There's white people, there's black people, there's Asians, there's people from every race, every culture together in this one group. And eventually this knighthood became so powerful and so strong that they formed their own nation. And that's where this movie starts. It's a nation already, and they're just going out and doing what they have to do and protecting people and serving their masters and stuff. It's a fantastic story. It's a fantastic idea. It's new, it's original, it's something I'd never seen before. It is amazing. To tie in with that, the characters in this movie are very well written. None of them are one-dimensional. They're all deep, they're all well-developed, they're fascinating, they're interesting. No one's just a cliche, over-the-top action hero. I am strong, I am a knight, I am perfect and have no flaws. And none of them were like that. They all had flaws, they were all human. The bad guy wasn't this over-the-top evil mastermind person. No, yeah, he was kind of messed up in the head, he was kind of crazy, and they showed that very well. But he was still intimidating. He was still sinister. They did a fantastic job writing all of these characters. The main bad guy, second in command, he wasn't a bad guy. He was just doing what he had to do. His code of honor dictated that he serve his master loyally and without question, regardless of his moral beliefs on what his master asked him to do. Yeah, he asked him to do some stuff that he disagreed with, but it was his master, so he had to do it out of an obligation. It was an oath that he took, and you could tell that he didn't want to do these things, but he had to, based on his own moral compass and his own oath of loyalty. It was very interesting, very fascinating, and I absolutely loved it. These characters were very, very deep and well developed. Also, you can't have a movie about knights and warriors without having some just amazing action scenes in the movie. And the action scenes in this movie were absolutely fantastic. They were gritty, they were hard-hitting. It was like a hybrid style of European martial arts and Asian martial arts, with the swords and the bows and arrows and the archery and battle axes. It was amazing, it was fantastic, and they just blended the different styles together so well into this one new style that this military force uses. It was fantastic. The cons of this movie? Well, you know how I just said that the action scenes in this movie were fantastic and amazing? And they were? Well, there were only two of them. This movie was 2 hours long. Actually, it was over 2 hours long. And there were only two action scenes in the movie. There was the opening credits, like within 5 minutes of the movie starting, there was an action scene. It was more just establishment action to show you just how badass these characters are and how awesome these knights are. And then there was the epic showdown at the end of the movie, which was half an hour long. And it was glorious. But still, between the first 5 minutes and the last half hour of this movie that was over 2 hours long, not a lot of action, if any. There were little snippets of like stabbiness or like maybe slashing and cutting here and there, but still, it was just like a little snippet of action and then it was over. Just a little taste, like I have my sword and I cut you and then action scene's over. Nothing really deep, nothing drawn out, just quick snippets of just cutting and stabbing and stuff. I really think, the action was too spread out. I mean, I get why they did it. The whole second act of this movie was dedicated to just establishing what was going to happen in the third act and just setting everything up with character development and plot development and planning. So it makes sense. But I still would have liked to see some action, like maybe even just a bar fight. Like have some people getting into a fight in a bar. That would have been fine. Just put some action in there. Just aside from the beginning and the end. Also, there were some noticeable cuts in this movie, and pretty much whenever something had to happen really fast, like bad guy has to slap this lady. There was a noticeable cut between the wind-up and the extension of his arm. You could tell that it was just two cuts, like, he swings, and okay, now we start from here, and you move, and yeah. You could tell there was a cut. It was an obvious cut. Or when the gate from the drawbridge drops, you could see the cut in there. Whenever something had to happen really quickly and really suddenly, there were noticeable cuts. Really, it's not a huge deal. It's bad editing, and it really takes me out of the movie. The thing that bothered me the most, though, probably won't bother most people. It's kind of a pet peeve for me. Morgan Freeman got second billing in this movie. He died within the first half hour of the movie. He was nothing more than a plot device. His death is what activated and what started everything after that. Everything that happens in the second act and the third act happens because Morgan Freeman's character died. He was nothing more than a plot device, and he got second billing. Third or fourth, I'd understand. He's a big name. He's a draw. He's probably the biggest name in the entire movie, so you want him out there. You want his name there so people can see it. I get it. It makes sense from a marketing standpoint. But second billing for someone who's nothing more than a plot device? No, that's uncalled for. I've put that under the category of false advertising. My overall thoughts on the movie? This isn't your typical mindless action movie, and I give it 2 thumbs up. It has its flaws, but most of those are easily forgivable because of the story in this movie. It's new, it's original, and it's so much fun to watch. If you enjoy movies set in medieval times, then you need to watch Last Knights. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like it and subscribe to my channel for new action movie reviews posted every week and top 10 lists posted on the 10th of every month. Also, if you have any recommendations for things you would like me to cover in the future, please leave them in the comments below and follow us on Twitter at explosions_TV. Thank you and have a nice day.